Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Writing Cabin with Tarah Benner. I'm fantasy author Tarah Benner, and this is my cabin. We all need to escape into story from time to time. So come on in, sit down by the fire, pour yourself a nice hot cup of cocoa, and let's talk books. Now, before we get started today, I want to take a quick moment to thank my wonderful patrons. Patrons, your support not only funds the creation of new monthly stories, but it tells me that you enjoy my books so much that you want to support them and me directly. If you, dear listener, would like to join our Patreon family, you can do so over at patreon.com/Tarah Benner Labs. I create a brand new short story or part of a novella for my patrons every single month. You can gain access to that entire library of past content for just $3. You can come in and out as you like. I don't care. I'm just happy to have you. And in that library, you will find about 17 or 18 Witches of Mountain Shadow stories, including a spicy alternate epilogue to Warrior Witch. There are some novellas and just all kinds of fun things to read. Again, that is patreon.com/Tarah Benner Labs. This week's featured book is Ether Witch, book 1 of the Witches of Mountain Shadow series. The Grimes sisters aren't normal, even by witches' standards. For weeks, Fiona has been having chilling visions of death, and Eleanor sees restless spirits nearly everywhere she goes. When a string of gruesome murders rocks the small town, Fiona and the rest of her coven begin to worry that a fellow witch may be the killer. Even worse, a witch hunter has just moved in next door, and he suspects the coven. Ether Witch is Charmed meets Gilmore Girls. If you love a dark supernatural mystery with witty banter and unforgettable small-town characters, this book is for you. And right now, for a limited time, you can actually grab Ether Witch for free. That's going to be free through Halloween, and the price will go back up to $4.99 at the stroke of midnight on November the 1st. All right, it's time for my little life update that I do each and every week. And if you're a regular listener to the podcast, I want to apologize for the mess that was last week's podcast. Thursdays are always kind of busy for me, which is when I record the podcast because it's hard for me to get good writing in on Thursdays anyway. And last week I totally forgot about it until the evening. And so my husband was home, my kid was awake. It was just kind of a mess, but we're back to our regularly scheduled programming, and it is snowing as I record this. We were supposed to just get an inch, but I think we're going to get a lot more than that. And yes, it is only October, but we live in the mountains at 8,500 feet, so we're used to this kind of thing. We pretty much get snow like October through May, on and off, but then we get really beautiful sunny weather in between all the snow, so that's a plus. But earlier this week, my husband was stockpiling firewood, like a ton of firewood, and he was splitting it and just getting it all ready to go. And soon I will help him with that task once we have fires going all the time, because he is gone during the day and I'm here working, but I'll go out and split some wood and just try to keep the fire going, because it definitely helps since we live off the grid. We do have propane and like a furnace, but it just helps, and we prefer it just to have heat from our wood stove, because it doesn't kind of dry you out and make you weirdly hot in the middle of the night like a furnace does. So yeah, we're kind of settling in for full Colorado winter here, but it's also almost Halloween, which is like my favorite holiday, and my toddler is going to be able to kind of participate this year, which is really fun. He's going as an Oompa Loompa, which is very cute. I just got the costume earlier this week, and I already took some pictures because he's just so cute in it. He doesn't love the wig. It's got like a green wig, and he keeps pulling it off, so I don't know what we're going to do about that, but we're just going to take him probably to our little kind of community Halloween party that they put on for kids, and kind of let him kind of observe more than participate in the trick-or-treating. I don't think he's gonna really know what to do yet because he's only like 14 months old. But yeah, life with a toddler this age is crazy. He's learning all kinds of new things, and he's very, very active and driving one of the dogs crazy and always feeding the other one. So I have one dog that's a nervous wreck and one dog that's going to be 300 pounds. But it's just fun. So that's about it for my personal updates. Now it's time for my writing update. I actually have a lot to cover this week. I have been busy. Today, as I record this, kicks off the start of my annual All Hallows Eve sale. This is like one of the biggest book sales that I do all year. And I started doing this once I had paranormal books because I was like, oh, that's perfect. And so through Halloween, Ether Witch is free. The Witch's Fortune is free, but only from my website. I am running a Kindle countdown deal on Demon Witch and Spirit Witch, so Witches of Mountain Shadow books 2 and 3. Those deals are rolling throughout the weekend and into Monday. So as I record this, Demon Witch is 99 cents. That price will go up to $1.99 sometime on Friday. I can't remember what time, sorry. Spirit Witch will go to 99 cents on Friday, and then the price will creep up. And so the sooner that you can get those downloaded, the cheaper they'll be. Those deals are only running through Halloween. I am also participating in an event called Free Witchy Reads. There are a whole bunch of witchy books by other authors that are going to be free through Halloween, so make sure you grab those. I'm going to put a link to that down below in the show notes or in the description box if you're watching on YouTube. A lot of great authors participating in that, lots of great books. So fill up your Kindle and you can just read spooky witchy books all weekend. So in other news, I did finally post the complete audio version of The Witch's Fortune on YouTube. And so if you're an audiobook listener and you enjoy my stuff, go check it out. It's my own reading, and so it's not professionally mastered or anything like that, but people seem to be enjoying it so far. So make sure you check that out. I do plan on recording and releasing all of my novellas on YouTube, and so make sure you go ahead and subscribe to my channel because I'll just kind of post those as I have them. I'm also 26 subscribers away from 1,000 subscribers on YouTube, so I really want to get to that 1,000 mark. The paperbacks for the Elven Blade, if you pre-order them from my website, they are coming. I have had an ongoing issue with the paperback version of that book. I'm on like my second or third round of proof copies for that. I'm working with my designer to get it fixed, but hopefully I will have those like in hand very soon. And as soon as I have that corrected, they will be on their way to you. I did receive the proof copy of the Silver Flame Dragon novella. So I have it here. If you're watching on YouTube, you can see it's beautiful. It's got this weird gray bar at the top because that's how they do print proofs, but it looks really, really nice. And it's funny because that's the cover I spent the least amount of money or time on. But it looks great. And so I'm going to be giving the Silver Flame Dragon away to my newsletter subscribers sometime in November, and I'll have those paperbacks available from my website at that time. Finally, big news, I am writing a brand new novella for my patrons, and we are going back to Mountain Shadow, you guys. I love that world. I love those characters, and it's Halloween, and so I wanted to write another paranormal murder mystery. So this one is very much in the style of Blood Ties. It stars Wesley and Gabriel, and there is a supernatural murder that takes place in Mountain Shadow. There are some cameos from some old characters in the series. This one is actually taking place in the middle of book 6. And so I'm trying to keep it really spoiler light. Like I like typed out this whole like conversation between Wesley and Gabriel, and I was like, you know what? That's a really big spoiler. I'm going to take that out so that if someone does stumble upon this, not having read book 6, it doesn't ruin anything. But I mean, they allude to some events that happen throughout the series, but I don't think there's anything too crazy of a spoiler. But it was really fun because I was bringing back Mare Sutherland, the black belt judo Yorkie having mare who was possessed by a demon in book 3. She's back. Daphne makes a cameo. I'm really trying to figure out a way to get Bellamy in there because I love Bellamy. I outlined that a couple days ago, and I wrote a big chunk of it yesterday. And so part 1 of that will go out to patrons on November 1st. So I think I'm going to be writing more of these because they're not that long and they're really fun for me. And I can't stay away from Mountain Shadow. That's it for my writing update. Now it's time for what am I reading this week? And this week I am reading The Alpha's Challenge by Lee Savino. I'm still on a Lee Savino kick. I haven't been listening to audio in the last few days. And so I actually asked for recommendations for paranormal audiobooks, specifically paranormal romance, because that's kind of the kick I'm on. I asked my readers in my secret reader group, and I got a lot of good recommendations that I thought I would share. So Trisha says, I'm about to start Moonlight and Magic. It's the 4th book in the Betwixt and Between series by Dorinda Jones. Celeste says, Zodiac Academy by Caroline Peckman and Susan Valenti, sisters, narrated by Bridget and Jake Bordeaux. I follow them on TikTok. They're fantastic on TikTok, the authors are. And I haven't read the Zodiac Academy yet, but it's been top of the charts like for months. So a lot of people love those books, but it is bully romance. And so I've kind of been hesitant to delve into that. Lindsay recommends the Crescent City series by Sarah J. Maas. I actually think I have those already. Shannon recommends Carly Spade's Contemporary Mythos series. And Kim recommends Darkling by Yasmin Galenorm. So I'm definitely going to be adding some of those to my TBR, to be listened to pile because I love audiobooks, and that's actually kind of my normal bedtime routine is I'll listen to an audiobook before I fall asleep. And if I fall asleep during the audiobook, I have to rewind, but it's kind of a nice way to end my day. That's all I have for you this week. But before we go, let's check the mailbox. And you guys are killing me with these names that I can't pronounce. This week I have a comment from Edith. I'm sorry, I'm not saying your name correctly. That was a comment on the Ether Witch audiobook on YouTube. Truly spellbinding, a rollicking good yarn, as a friend of mine would say. I found it hard to pause so as to go to bed on time. Also, I find it interesting that a writer of supernatural fiction has to observe rules that maintain a certain fictional framework, while other aspects of the work, such as topography, can remain as close to reality as it pleases them. So yes, thank you for that comment. I always love kind of seeing what readers think about the audiobooks on YouTube. That's really the only place I get feedback on the audiobooks. And I've loved being on YouTube this year because I feel like I've met all these new readers that I never would have found otherwise. So keep them coming. If you have any burning questions or comments you'd like for me to read on the show, you can send them to tarahbenner@gmail.com, or you can post them on any of my social media channels. I am at author Tarah Benner on Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok. I am Tarah Benner author on YouTube. Just a warning, if it's on social media, there's a chance I might miss it unless it's YouTube, because I get an email anytime someone comments on my YouTube channel, but my Facebook notifications are just a big ol' mess. So email is really the best way to get in touch with me. That's all I have for you this week, but feel free to stay in my cabin as long as you like. We can drink all the hot chocolate, you can crack open a good book, hopefully one of mine, and have a wonderful weekend.